Quintavious Quirinius or Quentin Quire, known as Kid Omega. First appearance New X-Men 134, January of 2003.
What is his power?
He is an Omega class telepath.
What is Omega class?
Very, very strong. Like the strongest tier, at least to my knowledge. I stopped reading around 2015 of like mutant. Other examples of Omega class mutants would include the Phoenix, or Jean Graves to be more precise.
I'm glad you got more descriptive.
Storm is another Omega class mutant. Iceman is one, and some others.
I'm glad you got more descriptive because at first you were like, he's strong because he has strength. Like at first, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what an Omega class mutant is. I'm like, or you asked what his thing is. I'm like, he's an Omega class telepath. I thought you had heard the term Omega class before today.
Not at all.
Yeah, I think it's silly that his name was Kid Omega, but it is what it is. Anyway, hey guys, you know who it is, what's happening, when it's going on, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent, big ugly himself, Omari Ellis, feogrande on YouTube, here with another episode of the Whatever We Want podcast. And as usual, I am joined by my guest, the man, the myth, the legend, the actor, the rapper, the man who bears watching, Superjaz.
Well, man, who is also referred to sometimes as Pete on this show. Yes, as he said, I go by the name of Superjaz or Jazz, SJJT, whatever you want, what have you, and the like. And as he also stated, this is the Whatever We Want podcast, where, as I always say, we do just that. We don't lead this conversation. This conversation leads us, and we let these chips fall where they may.
Every Wednesday.
Whatever the year might be, we let them fall, baby.
Yes, sir.
As long as it's Wednesday.
Indeed. And speaking of the chips, speaking of chips and by proxy food, I went to a bachelor party last week. It wasn't it wasn't your traditional bachelor party. You know, you can find me in the club, fucking strippers and shit. No,
I was gonna let you finish, but
I know it's like bottle full of love. That's not about a strip club.
No, I'm saying I want you finish on. I want you finish on the story. But my first thought of bachelor party is everybody getting drunk and pussy in your face.
Yeah, that's what you heard me say. It wasn't your traditional one.
Right. That's why I started laughing.
It was because I was thinking of eating and food. I was at a strip club.
My first thought bachelor party.
Lol.
We getting drunk and pussy in my face.
Well, there was drinking involved, but we went instead to because of the way strip clubs are down here, you can't really see it a lot anyway because the strip club code or mandate in Orlando is a bit stricter than other cities in Florida, where it's like they gotta wear like pasties and stuff. They can't get fully naked because this is Disney country. This is a family place. Even
when I'm going to go see naked women, I have to Then why have a strip club in the first place?
Because apparently some of them have good steakhouses. I haven't been to one in Orlando, but someone said that the steak at one of these places. Someone said the steak at one of these places is provided by a famous steakhouse, or is at least sourced from the same place as a steakhouse in the area. So it's really good steak. Apparently, I know
the most I've heard is some strip clubs they only go topless. They don't go full nude, but pasties and anyway.
Yeah. So what else did the groom like? Food and eating and meat. So I was gonna go to an all-you-can-eat sushi place, but they stopped doing all-you-can-eat sushi at that place. So I went with the next best thing. This place.
Sushi, Jesus.
Yeah, I went to this restaurant place called Texas de Brazil or Tejas de Brazil, but it's a Brazilian steakhouse, and it was mine and a couple other people in the groom party's first time going there, including the groom. I think he had been to a Brazilian steakhouse, so he was familiar with the concept. But man, that place while yes, a restaurant, it's more of an experience because the premise is it's all you can eat meat. You go in, you get the dinner. The dinner is all you can eat meat, and they give each person at the table a little. I have a card here, but it's more of a circular thing. Put on the table. Has two sides. One's red, one's green. By default, it's at red. The second you switch it over to green, ideally, you signal that someone can come over to you with some meat to be like, I have a record this. Would you like a cut? Yes. Do. Give it to people. Go to the next table. And that's how you know people can come to the table. That's how they know they can stop by your table. Now, when I tell you I did not really see any of these motherfuckers before we flipped our thing to green.
Almost like some movie shit.
So I saw the salad bar and I didn't want to get a salad, but I didn't know how this thing fully worked. So I got like a couple of things. They had some stuff that's like meats and cheeses at the salad bar. So I just kind of took some of those and was like, oh, okay, boop, 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 boop. And I sit down and a guy whose name I won't put out there because people would actually recognize the name. He was like, he turns to another friend of mine and he's like, rookie mistakes by these guys. They got the cold cuts. I'm like, what? It's meat. We're at the all-you-can-eat meat restaurant. They flipped that shit over to green, and within like 30 seconds, filet mignon. Would you like a slice of filet mignon? So. Yes, I'll get that. Dude. While two people, by the time the second person that got one, boom! I got some garlic picanha right here. You want some of that? Oh, sure. I'll get some of that. Boom! Hey, I got this. I got this. I'm like, we haven't gotten a chance to get the last two things that came to the table. Give me a minute. It was the most overwhelming. Just whoop whoop whoop. Just every like 30 seconds, some other guy coming to the table. Just, you want this? You want this? I'm like, I don't have space on my fucking plate to eat what I already have. Like at one point, Fluffles, who I've mentioned on the show and called Fluffles in the past. Fluffles was like, can someone please put the things over to red so I can eat? And we eventually flip him over to red and we go. The guy who told me that yelled it was a rookie mistake or whatever, he just eventually just kind of like eats like two or three things. He's like, I want more. Just kind of takes the thing, puts it on his head, is green, and all of a sudden while we taking like two bites. Oh, would you like a lamb chop? Would you like this? Would you like this? But
was it really that quick like that? That's hilarious.
I'd say about every 30 to 45 seconds, someone was showing up at the table.
God damn.
That was if a minute every minute at the slowest when it was green. Now when it was red, they're supposed to stop. But by the end of that night, all 6 of them damn coins on the table was red, and that just slowed them down. Instead of every like 30, 45 seconds, it being a different person coming to your table, it was like every 2 minutes, some dude would still walk by and be like, I know you things have got yours red, but would you like some leg of lamb?
You make it sound like a drug deal. Like, hey, I know you said you good, but just in case.
Like literally everything. Like there was a point where they would come in and they would like slice it for something for one of the guys, and I turned to Fluffles. I'm like, Fluffles, everything on the table is red. They don't care. They're still bringing. And I sound like I'm complaining. I am not. Was it overwhelming? Yes. But it was good. Only complaint I really have is it was a lot. Though I love beef and I ate, pretty much all the beef I could about all the different types they gave me. At the end of the day, beef starts becoming beef when you got all those different kind of cuts on the plate. It all beef. So the main thing,
heavy in your stomach too.
It sits heavy, and ironically, I weighed less the next morning, even before, to borrow a phrase, exercising the demons from the night before. I'm like, how do I weigh less? Okay, whatever.
Exercising the demons isn't
Pooping.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ.
For some reason, my brain went to throwing up. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's same result. Food's out of you, but pooping. But even with all the booze, and we had some alcohol and stuff too. The alcohol was good. Even had some cheesecake afterwards. So I expected to fucking gain pounds in the morning, but I didn't.
Gain like 3 pounds in a meal, 5 some shit.
Because all the meat that was consumed, but instead I lost. I'm like, okay, good, but. No, it was an experience. It was fun. And obviously, you had the bachelor party. Then later, you had the wedding. Wedding was also fun this past weekend. Lots of drinking and stuff. Some hiccups that I won't put out in public. But every wedding has hiccups. And even though every wedding has hiccups, this one has some hiccups that are kind of unique to the situation. But again, won't go too far into detail. But it went off without a hitch. Everybody had their stuff. Damn. The groom's party had, instead of renting a tux because that's expensive, we all had custom lapels. I can't really grab my custom lapel or whatever, but we also got pocket watches for being in the groom's party.
Oh, like a wedding gift for like being a groomsman.
Yeah, we got pocket watches with our names on.
Oh, and is your name is engraved on the back?
On the front, yeah, and then the inside looks like so.
Okay,
that's pretty cool.
That's dope.
Yeah, I can't really get it to focus. Let me if I bring it out, but it's still nice. It's a very good pocket watch, and it works. Not that I know how often I'll use it, but it works and it's awesome. So yeah, so the wedding was this weekend. So one of the groomsmen was really into the World Cup and wanted to see England lose on Saturday, and they did. So they lost literally like 2 or 3 minutes before it was time to like start the wedding, like before the ceremony started, the soccer game ended. Like I won't say 2 to 3 minutes. I'll say like 10 minutes before the ceremony started, the game ended. And so everybody had an extra boost because the majority of us at that place or in that room were American. We don't really give a fuck about the World Cup, especially since America's out. Like I told when they were like, well, there's a World Cup game on today. I'm like, I thought the World Cup ended 2 weeks ago. And they were like, no, it's still going. I'm like, I'm pretty sure the World Cup ended already.
That's such an American statement. The World Cup ended when our country got kicked out because we don't even know about it in the first place. The World Cup ended when America lost, didn't it? Like, no, you fucking arrogant bitch.
That's when it ended for me.
Right.
But because a lot of us didn't have a dog in the fight, and because it's just funny to see England be like the opposite of what we are in Olympic basketball, where, you know, hey, it's the country the sport came from, so we dominate everybody 90% of the time before you guys point out your 2 or 3 Olympics we didn't win the gold.
Well, the basketball shit is like damn near cheating.
No. I mean, how is being the country that invented soccer and, you know, entering the World Cup not cheating too? I mean, you got pro players and stuff there. That's where all your pro players are. Pro players definitely play in the World Cup.
Oh well, yeah, okay. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying the Olympic thing is like it's for all amateurs. You do it on a professional level. It's like, yeah, come on, Michael Jordan, like this.
I mean, the World Cup is, like I said, it has a bunch of professionals and stuff in it too. Your most legendary soccer players be winning them and fighting and playing in them World Cups.
I got you. Not arguing with you, man.
World Cup is soccer Olympics, not to be confused with Olympic soccer.
This is true.
Or as Pat McAfee calls it, the soccer Lombardi, to put it more like an American would put something.
Yeah. McAfee's a cool guy, but yeah.
That is true. So, but it's funny because England has the same kind of, we're going to win it this year. That's the same kind of energy their fans have going into every World Cup, like we have going into basketball. but they haven't won a World Cup in like 60 years.
6-0.
Yeah, roughly. I don't know the exact number, but I think it was
But
in the
still.
60s the last time. In the 60s was the last time they won a goddamn World Cup.
This is fucking. This is what's crazy. It's almost 2023. The 60s was in the 60 years ago was in the 60s.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
A little, but it helped with the math. When they told me whatever 60 year it was the last time they won one, I'm like, and they're that cocky every year?
What was I gonna say?
I'd say give it another 20 years, and then they won't be so cocky going into it.
Like if it's been 80 years, then they'll be like never.
Because then, and it's gonna sound rude to say this, but then that's when you start getting into like Cubs fan territory, where they went 108 years in between World Series, and I think it probably was around year 80 where the defeatist, nature starts kicking in, where it's like, it's been so damn long, we're probably not gonna do it, but if we did, boy, we're gonna lose our shit
for a long time. That's why
I was happy. Even as a Cardinals fan, I was happy.
From St. Louis Cardinals fan, yeah.
I was happy that they won it that year. One, because I have a friend who's from Chicago, and two, because I got tired of hating this team that lost all the time. I felt rude. I didn't want to hate the Cubs because that just seemed like a dick move. Ooh, you guys lose all the time. I hate you. What? No, we're the winners in that. I understood them hating us, the Cardinals fans. I understood that. Yeah, we win a hell of a lot more than you do. I get that, but why would we hate you?
You remember the movie Fever Pitch with Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah.
And they had to rewrite the end of that movie.
Yeah.
They said because the Cubs had lost forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. But I forget what year.
Yeah, it was the Red Sox.
Oh, the Red Sox, it was. Damn it. Another baseball team known for losing for a long stretch of time.
And then they beat the Cardinals to end their curse.
But
in the most humiliating fashion.
But it was the dude in the movie that Jimmy Fallon played.
Fuck the Red Sox.
Loved baseball, and he met somebody and they find love and all this shit. But he loved them despite the fact that they kept on losing. Because the whole point of the movie was I love them despite that they keep on losing and we love each other and all this shit. And they were gonna lose, and then right when they were going you put that in the movie that they just lost, the motherfuckers won, so they had to rewrite the ending.
It's the same thing that happened with I remember that. It's the same thing that happened when ESPN took the city of Cleveland, who hadn't won any championships in about 50 to 60 years, just regardless of the sport, whether it be football, baseball, basketball. I don't even know if they have a hockey team. I fucking know. But they hadn't done shit for years, but their fans tried to remain somewhat positive, and they made a ESPN 30 for 30 called Believe Land. And they played it. They went through it. LeBron had just come back to the team, and they was making it into the finals, and they had the final, and they went up to that finals. They brought all the people they brought in to talk about the history of Cleveland sports. People that are like, I was in Cleveland's last playoff game in the 90s. I got my ticket right here. For the Cleveland Browns and stuff. People that they used to be like, I'm a Cleveland historian and it sucks being a Cleveland fan, but we root every year. They got them hey, well, here's tickets to the finals. Maybe your team can win this year. And then they lose. And then when they finally air it, in, let's say, February or March, that summer, Cleveland Cavaliers win the championship.
That's what I was like. That shit is so funny.
And so they
known for losing. Yeah.
And so they record a second section for the future. Now, if you were to watch it, they had it up to that failure and to be like, damn, I guess we'll try to get them next year. And then they have 1 year later. Oh, we're back in the finals. They went and got all the people they used for the documentary. Hey, here's tickets to Game 7. Watch it. And yeah, we did time, type shit to get that happy ending. The worst part is, even though they did stuff like that, now that's worked for two teams to do the whole, let's make a movie about the fact that our team is always bad. That's worked for two teams, or that worked with the Red Sox in baseball, and it worked with the Cleveland Cavaliers in basketball. I don't think anyone's made a movie about how bad the Browns are or the Lions. Maybe the Lions need to make a Lions movie.
And then all of a sudden,
I think they need to make a Lions movie because I feel bad for that team. Like, obviously, because my friend's from Chicago, I'd rather the Bears come out the division every year, but come on, Lions. Yo, you're one of the oldest teams in the league. One playoff win in the Super Bowl era. One playoff win since we've had Super Bowls, Jazz.
Has the Lions ever won the Super Bowl?
No, they've never been. They've only had one playoff win. You need at least three to make it into the Super Bowl that year.
I thought you were saying, come on, y'all, get one playoff win. It's been long enough. You mean they've only had one in the history of the team?
In the Super Bowl era.
They've only had one playoff win?
Yeah.
In the history of all this shit. What the fuck?
If I remember correct. You could be wrong. Someone would be like, no, it's been two. But I'm pretty sure it's been one.
I thought you were saying y'all can't get one playoff win since blah, blah, blah. I didn't know you were saying
they can't get another one since Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders was supposed to be one of the best to ever play the game, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he was. Unfortunately, he played for the Lions.
That sucks.
Calvin Johnson, Megatron. I'm sure you've probably heard that name as a receiver. Yes. Very great receiver. Guess who he played for? The Lions. So he has nothing to say for it. If Matt Stafford hadn't taken his ass to L.A., he'd be right there with them.
I always say players like that, you have to give them so much more credit sometimes, because it's like you got known on a national level of being so great on a shitty team. That shit always so funny to me. It's like, because it's one thing to get known for being national on an amazing team. You got known for being the best player in the league in your position on a terrible team.
Well, you putting up all these stats and setting all these records, and you still ain't won a playoff game. And they're like, well, boy, clearly he wasn't that good. Then they're like, no, I don't think you realize just how bad being Peyton Manning had a show where he was going around the country, and when he went to fucking Detroit, he took one of the players who apparently, from that last time they went to the playoffs, he took him, who and had apparently since retiring become like an ordained minister. He took him to the stadium and tried to do an exorcism to try and hopefully get the bad juju out for the Lions, because goddamn, it's been pretty fucking bad.
Obviously, that was for TV, but that's still funny as shit.
Yes, I know it's for TV, but still, the fact of the matter is,
just the thought of doing it,
do that, and no one really bat an eye.
And nobody will be like, "What's this for?"
Yeah, they're like, you know what? That's a good fucking idea. Now, someone will turn around and be like, "Well, the Panthers ain't won no championships in the time that they've existed either." You're right, but the Panthers also were created in the '90s, and they've at least been to the Super Bowl twice.
What was Carolina's team before the Panthers?
Non-existent.
So were the Panthers just created, or
they
was
were
it
an
like
expansion team, just like the Jaguars?
I know they traded somebody and then they turned them into it. Okay.
Yeah, they were an expansion team like the Jaguars. And to be fair to the Browns of now, and the reason that the Browns, I don't think, get nearly the same level of crap that that Detroit does, is because technically the Browns we know now started in 1999. The original Cleveland Browns that have the storied history before the Super Bowl and stuff now are now the Baltimore Ravens. And, right after leaving Cleveland, they signed a guy by the name of Ray Lewis, and the rest was history. So,
whatever that shit is. Yeah.
Slide, step. 5 fire erupted behind him. That's fucking terrifying. I just want you to realize this. This is a man who may or may not be a murderer in real life and is known for being at least metaphorical murderer on the field. He already has a scary reputation. You come to his stadium, the whole team, including their quarterback, comes out, and then they're like, and now playing at linebacker number 52, and this guy comes out ripping up grass and shit. This is my house. Spits out the grass. This is my house. Fire just starts erupting. Yeah, this is my house. And then he does the fucking slide, bop, bop. And the fucking just fire erupted behind him. I don't want to be on the offense that has to go against that. That is not my friend. That man is here to murder me, metaphorically, at the very least. I do. Like, that's terrifying. It's like pro wrestling mixed into football. He gets it. He would have made a great pro wrestler if he ever went into it.
Well, I was going to say, it's like I say, like back in the day before Ronda Rousey, speaking of pro wrestling, before Ronda Rousey joined, way before she joined WWE, when she was still like undefeated Ronda Rousey and shit. And I say, man, when I first saw her go to the ring with her hair and like her little like let's fuck a bitch up button, and she walked to the ring already like, you know, no makeup, looking evil. I was like, my first thought when I saw her, I said she looked like she ready to eat this woman. Ronda, like, that was my first thought. I was like, Ronda looked like she is ready to eat her. Like, they were going to get in the ring, and she was going, I was like, yo.
Yeah.
Like, you had to go in that zone. Just.
Don't let me get. Oh, damn it.
What?
Nothing. Yeah, she was about to get mad.
You going to say something inappropriate?
Yes. Because of recent circumstances, yes, it would have been inappropriate. Don't worry about it.
How about I say, you can tell me off here if you remember. Man.
Yeah.
But no, my first thought, I was like, no, I remember seeing Ronda go to the ring initially for one of her fights when she was like big MMA undefeated Rousey. And I just remember being like, yo, what the fuck? I'm not standing in front of whatever the hell that is, but fucking looking like, oh my God.
Yeah. That's why those are my favorite interests, and like to talk about pro wrestling interests. Those are my favorite types of interests. The one that just scares the shit out of the fucking opponent. Like, that's. We talked about it on fucking first Sunday and shit. But that's one of the things I liked about certain areas of like AEW, certain people's interests, like when Penta was doing his fucking Penta Oscuro shit, where it's just like goes dark, comes out, and it's just him with a fucking shovel, just, and you got the fucking warped ass Spanish talk to you, and
a fucking gravestone with the opponent's name on it.
Yeah, it's like, I'm like, oh, this nigga's here to kill me. And he just starts walking to the ring with the fucking fire, like on the fucking Titantron behind, just Penta Squirrel. Oh god, it's that or fucking House of Black and they shit.
And then motherfuckers just appear in the light.
Yeah, just
like they just appear from the darkness. Like, oh, okay, there's one. Wait, there's two? Wait, there's three? There's even a little girl? Oh my god.
Fucking final boss ass El Idolo entrance. Come out with the fucking suit and the mask on and just taking his sweet fucking time, just
taking the mask and the suit and the gloves off,
fucking skull mask. There's a
fucking that's some I'll take care of you myself type of shit.
Yeah, when you got your fucking Carlos Santana ass guitar going off in the background. Fucking interest is a great because all of those kind of things remind me of the Key and Peele UFC skit. Where,
I was never the biggest Key and Peele fan, but now go ahead anyway.
Okay, so they had a skit that a lot of people found funny. You may not, but it had like your typical UFC thing where they're talking shit about each other getting ready for a fight, and it was some dude who was your typical Jordan Peele was your dude that's like, I'm gonna go down to the ring. I'm gonna body this dude. It's gonna be good. Yeah, because they're trying to do a promo for the upcoming fight, and it cuts to the other guy who's like,
oh, I think I did see this.
I am God's warrior, and I am here to take your life. He's like, so he comes back like that. It's like, wait, did he say he was God's warrior? What the fuck is that? And he's like, when I choke the last bit of blood from your body, you will realize.
I think I have seen that. That was funny.
You need to get the God. What? No, man, I thought we were just talking about the fight. What are you talking about over here? He's like, God's gifts are so beautiful. God's gifts are beautiful. Man, I ought to put me in the ring with a crazy person. I don't want to fight that. Just I'm like, exactly. That's how I would feel if I see, like, motherfucking Undertaker coming down to the ring with me. Like, let's assume, like, obviously, wrestling's fake. People know who, well, not fake. Wrestling's choreographed. People know who they're fighting every week and who's going to win. However, at the end of the day, people have to realize when they're watching this that the people who watch don't think that this is unscripted fighting. They watch it the same way you would watch a soap opera or an anime or TV show, where it's just it's, as Max Landis put it, it's not a wrestling show. It's a TV show about a wrestling show. And that's usually how your Dynamites, Rampages, WWEs, and stuff are booked. It's booked for a story where the people in this unit, and we're pretty much part of the fourth wall. That's it. It's a TV show, and we're part of the fourth wall. We get to yell and say stuff. We have a little bit of viewer input and stuff like that. It's a TV show where the fans can both participate and in some terms determine the outcome out of, because they're like, people are really liking this. Yeah. Fuck it. Give the fans what they want. That's all it is.
Or people hate this. Time to pull the plug. Oops, we fucked up.
So I look at those wrestling entrances from the idea that, let's say it's a person in this universe, and it's always great when it's like a mystery opponent for later that night. Because let me tell you something. If it was the fucking 90s and you're Jobber McGee, if it's your day at the fucking wrestling company and you're like, I get a match this week. Oh, man, I'm in the ring in front of my hometown. This is great. I wonder who my opponent is. Lights start turning off. And then you start hearing the organ. Fucking lights are all red around you. Wait, what? Fire, and here comes this 7-foot tall ass red nigga with a mask just walking to the ring.
With a purpose.
What? No, I was just here to fight. I was here for a wrestling match. Oh, it is a wrestling match. What the fuck do you mean? Do you see that?
The music sounds like some devil worshiping shit.
Exactly.
Fuck this.
Oh, yo, when you get to the later one, you wonder how the world is gone.
Sound like some fucking like new age, like some new age early 2000s fucking like some of the devil music. The fuck.
Give me what I could never ask for. I'm sorry. I actually like that song, Slow Chemical. But any of his themes, what was funny was when he became Mask Kane again, or did the corporate mask, whatever shit he was doing, Demon Kane, and he had the last version of his theme song, that for whatever reason, it just started with the explosion, and then the organ came in, but it had that guy in the background just, you just gotta fucking scream in the background, like, why would I fight this guy? It's hilarious. But no, Kane, Taker, hell, Stone Cold, speaking of it's scripted and so you know what's gonna happen, Stone Cold has said himself numerous times about some big match he had with Taker, where he had all this stuff planned in his head for the spots they were gonna do. He came out first because Taker takes like 8 minutes, and just part of his character is that whole second reveal of and his opponent. So he's sitting there, and then Taker comes out. The fucking bells ringing, the smoke's going, the blue light, the fucking blue mood lighting's going on, and here comes this nigga down the ramp. He may have had fucking flames coming up that night, because sometimes he has flames too. He's the goddamn Undertaker. You just take what you get, and he's good, and it's not gonna be fun. And he's walking down that ring, and Stone Cold, so fucking like enamored with what's walking in front of him. He's like, I looked at that and I forgot every damn thing I planned.
He said he had all plans like for the entire match. Forgot everything. I've heard this story.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, even if you know what's supposed to happen, that's coming at you. Brock Lesnar coming at you is terrifying.
Fuck.
And his music is just a dun, 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 dun. It just sounds like you fucked up. The fucking riff at the start, like anytime, like when people would hit Paul Heyman and then the music would hit, it's like, yeah, it's literally a you fucked up guitar riff. Wait, what?
It's like it's the record scratch of guitar riffs.
Yeah, up, I'm in for a bad time. And here goes this big motherfucker looking like he's happy because he's about to fucking eat you. He's like, it's what to borrow a term from Ryback, also fucking scary concept, literally yelling, wake up, it's feeding time. But here comes Brock Lesnar looking like he's just saying that with his fucking face, and then he flexes and the explosions go off. I don't want to fight this. Why? I did not sign up for this. I just wanted to be in the squared circle and show off my wrestling skills. I can't show off my wrestling skills when I'm being eaten alive in front of millions.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes motherfuckers in these sports look like they are ready to fucking eat you. Literally sit there with a fucking glass of Chianti and have your liver with fava beans.
Especially Super Saiyan Bobby Lashley of recent years with the fucking lightning strike and the fucking gold shit. It's like, oh, he finally embraced his inner terrifying. Okay. This isn't good for anybody going up against this guy.
Them motherfuckers look like that they about to be like, come here. Your toes are delicious. So, fuck. It's like, oh, so when you say fresh meat, you just mean like fresh as in like you gonna whoop my ass? Like, no.
That I'm new to the company? Yeah.
I mean, I'm a carnivore. Bitch, what the fuck?
I mean, I'm the predator and you the prey, bitch. So you better start praying. And by that, I mean dying. What? Oh, God.
Pray with an E. Am I right?
Yep.
Am I right? Wait. Let's see what happens. Yay! You didn't hear
Glad
it.
it worked for you.
You didn't fucking hear it. You didn't fucking hear it. Hold on.
And you played the rim shot?
I'm guessing by the Zoom delay, you barely made it out.
Yeah, it was in the background. It was like very quiet in the background.
Because I did. No, I'm saying because you remember last week.
Yeah, there was no sound.
I even for the first time shared the screen during the show to be like, what the fuck?
No, I think it ended with you mashing, like during the little outro music, it was you mashing on the button to see if you could hear it. But instead it was just the music playing.
Let's try one more. And then we can go back to
Zoom just does not like your soundboard.
At least they finally playing them this time. Last week, they didn't even play them. Last week, they were like, nah, motherfucker, you don't even get to look at them. Look. All you can do is look at these. False sense of security for your bitch ass? All right, good, Jazz. Oh, false sense of security having ass bitch. Oh, I ain't shit ass bitch. Oh, I ain't worth nothing ass bitch. Oh, I'm gonna add sound effects like it's cool ass bitch. Oh, ooh, I'm doing something special with a podcast with my friend. Let me get sound effects to make it like a radio show because I think I'm cool, but I ain't cool. What's cool to being cool? Ice cold ass bitch. Motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. Can you dig that? Nigga.
Vince McMahon probably wanted to say that.
Booker T probably wanted to say that once or twice.
No, because we all know the famous. Now, obviously,
they both have a famous moment of saying "nigga" on TV.
Yeah, Vince's was much more in your face and planned. No, for those who don't watch wrestling, because it isn't a wrestling podcast. But no, there was one part where years ago in like the early 2000s when John Cena was first making the climb up the ladder and actually was like starting to become like Cena when everybody still loved him and shit. And there's one part where Booker T, who used to wrestle with his wife as Charmel, and fucking John Cena still doing his, like, he's slowly transitioning out of his white rapper gimmick. So he wasn't white rapper anymore, but it was like he had just left it. So Vince McMahon goes backstage, looks at white ass John Cena, and said, and bro, I remember at the time, because if I remember correctly, me and my big brother, shout out to Ibn, had bought the pay-per-view. So if I remember correctly, we saw this shit live. Vince McMahon turns backstage and says to John Cena, fucking all white, fucking I'm white CEO as as fuck, like he leaned into the shit. Fucking, what's up, my nigga? What? What?
And then Vince walks away. My nigga.
And then Booker T, they put a pan to Booker T, who Booker T's catchphrase was, "Tell me he didn't just say that, he didn't just say that." So they pan to Booker T with his wife, and she's all, and look at it, he didn't just say that. Tell me he didn't just say that. Meanwhile, fucking over 10, 15 years later, we're still replaying it because, yeah, Book, he said it, goddamn.
That's what had people convinced for the longest that he was not cancelable, because he could literally because he was Vince McMahon and he did what he wanted. And as crazy as it is that he did it, I found it hilarious then and now.
At the time, it was definitely like, wait, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Get this shit out of here. What the fuck?
Are you serious, Vince? Okay.
Fuck out of here.
And I think that's the thing. It was one of the things that's like, and then again, it's Vince McMahon, the TV character, just doing. He's already shown he's despicable. What more thing? He had done things that were definitely a lot more clearly in character or out of character, but I'm saying even on screen, he had already done some things that were a lot more racist in nature than just being like, "What's up, my nigga," and walking away.
He did a lot of crazy ass shit. Period. Like when he fucking fought Shawn Michaels and God, and God was a spotlight. And no,
didn't he lose?
We bought, huh?
Didn't he lose?
Yeah, he did. We bought that pay-per-view live. I don't know if we bought it just for fighting God. I hope not. I hope we weren't that young and got caught up. We bought it live.
I want to believe he didn't. That was a WrestleMania, wasn't it?
No, it was not a WrestleMania.
Oh, okay.
But I remember that, man. And fucking God went down there, and I remember that shit because I remember Ibn, big bro. I remember Ibn looked, and Ibn was like, he just told God to get jiggy with it. Like I remember he's like, he told God to get jiggy with it. Like, what the fuck? Because he did, and they fucking flashed some fucking disco lights, and fucking he's like, you can't just come in here, and this is my ring. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Whatever he fucking felt like.
It's like Eminem
in a fucking candy store with WWE being his fucking forever candy store.
It's like Eminem. It's like Eminem. Like Eminem is uncancelable. All the shit that Eminem said back in the day, and whatever your fucking age.
I don't think either of them turned out to be uncancelable. Eminem just ain't done the cancelable act yet.
Oh, if Eminem does something that gets him canceled compared to the shit that he said and did in the past, whoa.
I'm just being honest. I mean, Vince is technically canceled.
Vince is.
That's what I'm saying.
No, because you said that's what people thought he was, but I'm saying Eminem so far is.
Yeah.
Like, Eminem will have to just go into a motherfucking like kid store and just start stabbing Teletubbies and stabbing motherfucking stuffed animals and just like yelling every racial slur in alphabetical order that he could think of. A is for so and so. B is for blah blah blah.
Vocabulary.
Yeah, you did right. A is for this. B is for this. You gonna fucking find a racial slur that starts with Z. or some crazy ass shit. And fucking people gonna be like, "Oh, M must be getting ready for his next album."
Oh, it's a publicity stunt. Getting ready for his next album.
Right. Because I'm saying, because like, whatever your age, whatever your race, whatever your sexuality, whatever your gender, everybody was listening to Eminem back in the day on repeat with all the wild shit he was saying.
A lot of
So,
people were.
well, now, honestly, maybe the only thing that would stop people from bumping M that heavy was age. Because I listened back to Eminem a few years ago as a grown ass man, and I see why all the adults were like, "Get this shit out of here." I was like, "Hey, I still love it, but this shit is problematic as fuck." I still love it, but I was like, "What?" This motherfucker opens the fucking his second album after he got famous. Opens the second album. They say I can't rap about being broke no more. They ain't say I can't rap about coke no more. Slut, you think I won't choke no whore till the vocal cords don't work in her throat no more. That rhyme scheme is wild and crazy and amazing. But what? You know what album you signed up for with that shit. So, no. Some people just don't give a fuck. And I guess the thing with Eminem in that case, too, is like, I mean, at least now, time will tell, we'll see. But at least now I can say to an extent that he wasn't being serious with all that shit. Like a lot of that shit. Like he even said, "What you mean you like to cut your wrist too? I be just clowning, dog. How fucked up is you?" So yeah. So no. So that's why I guess everybody gave Eminem a pass because he came in like that. He was amazing with his rhyme schemes, and he just. You kind of knew he didn't really mean it because he would say shit like that, but then he would also say shit like, "I tie a rope around my penis and jump from a tree." Like he would say crazy shit, but then he would say, "I hung my original self on the top bunk with a belt and shoot myself in the head and shit." Like it's like okay. Meanwhile, he gets fucking inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame like this year, and I think it was cool that he did. Yeah. Him, Pat Benatar, Jimmy Jam, and Terry Lewis, who did production for a lot of people, namely Janet Jackson, but a lot of people.
Okay, I was saying, if I heard the names, I couldn't think of one of their songs, but when you said they were production, I'm like, okay, that's why.
Like in the 80s, they did a lot of production for people. I don't know if they still do to this day, but like I said, namely Janet Jackson. Like when Janet Jackson first went solo, for with Rhythm Nation and shit like that, they like really helped her sound. She inducted them. So yeah. What I say? I think I said the Eurythmics. Like Sweet Dreams Made of These.
Oh really?
They got introduced. Like Pat Benatar, hit me with your best shot. Pat Benatar.
Yeah. I know the name. I thought she was Barracuda. No, she hit me with your best shot.
She's Barracuda.
Okay.
She had a few hits.
Gotcha.
Well,
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Lionel Richie got introduced. Is that a word? Do I say
inducted?
Inducted. I was like, introduced is not the word. Inducted. Lionel Richie got inducted.
Nice.
Trying to think who else of note. But no, man, I thought that was pretty cool. Like watching a few people. Oh, Duran got introduced.
Nice.
Inducted. Goddamn. Inducted. Duran. You know who Duran is?
Yes. Hungry Like a Wolf.
Oh, okay.
Look, I may not know a lot about music, but I know some.
Okay.
Not all, just some.
Of All Fears?
Of All Fears, sure. I haven't seen that movie.
Me either.
Gotcha. Have you seen the movie Almost Christmas?
No.
Oh. Fair enough.
Did y'all watch it for This Guy's Insane?
Next week, yeah.
That's right. You told me that.
And it'll be coming out almost for Christmas.
What?
Yeah, so it comes out on the 20th. It's the closest new episode to Christmas. It's hilarious. Timing. Oh, yep. Yeah. Almost Christmas, I gave you my heart.
Do you hate that song Last Christmas like a lot of people do?
No.
Me either. You know a lot of people hate that song, right?
Well, a lot of people hate. Apparently, I know people who hate Mariah Carey because of All I Want for Christmas Is You. Is it overplayed? Sure, but to hate her, I don't know.
Well, a lot of people hate Last Christmas because it's overplayed.
Okay, I don't hear it nearly as much as they do. I may hear it like once or twice every Christmas season.
Shout out to
I hear All I Want for Christmas Is You more than I hear Last Christmas.
Shout out to one of my old my old YouTube channel before I started making music. Same difference if you can find it on YouTube. But one of the first skits we did was about my boy Darius and how he's going around like going by his day-to-day life, waking up and shit like this or whatever. But every time he like turns around, the song is playing, like he hears Last Christmas. Because he actually does hate the song. So my head was like, we could do something with it. And we like came with this whole skit. So the whole thing is like, he wakes up, he's like, oh, I'm running late. And then his phone goes off and it's his alarm. And he's like, but it's Last Christmas. Like, what the fuck? Looks at it again. It's just bam, bam. It's like, oh, okay. Tripping. Gets in the car. It's like, oh shit, I'm running late. Gets in his car. He turns the car on. All of a sudden, Last Christmas. Turns it off. Turns it back on. It was just like the news. He's like, oh shit, I'm tripping. Goes to work. Fucking playing some shit. Then like I'm the worker in the office. He's the boss and shit. And he calls me in and fires me because he's like, hey, no, hey man, why you playing that song? And it's like, I wasn't playing Last Christmas. It was like some other shit. And I'm like, you good? The fuck? Goes home and all of a sudden the song Last Christmas is like taunting him damn near. So then he finally like goes downstairs. We zoomed in. He's like, oh, what the fuck? Where's the song? He's like looking everywhere. Looks in the fridge and the fucking oven trying to find the song. It was Taylor Swift's cover of Last Christmas, by the way, which is what the main we were playing. So then we go downstairs and then he's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? We zoom in on his face. He goes from mad to happy. And then zoom out. All of a sudden, I'm there, and we had candy canes and Christmas shirts, and we did this whole little like stupid routine, dance to the song. And then he comes to like, wait, what the fuck? I hate this song. Takes his shirt off and throws it, and it hits me in the face, and I'm just like, it was fun. It was one of the first things we did. Like
that's great.
Like skit wise, it was fun. It was one of those things where it was like in early YouTube, we probably would have gotten at least a few hundred views because early YouTube was for everybody. Let me stop. I hate when people post up to YouTube and get mad about YouTube, so I won't do that because I'm not mad about YouTube, but I don't want it to sound like I am. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway. But
yeah. I mean, same difference was a minute ago.
Same difference.
That was, in the grand scheme of things, that was kind of still early. I know it was like just past what you would normally assume is early YouTube.
We started same difference 2016.
2016, really?
If not 15.
Not like 2013 and shit?
No, because I didn't meet Darius till 2014.
Oh, okay.
And then it was about like it was either later 2014 that I thought about it, and then we started really doing it like 2015, maybe.
Okay, I just remember that we had 2015 is still damn near 10 years ago. It's 7 years, but still.
Damn, it's 7 years. It's about to be 8.
But fair enough. I just remember like a lot of the old DBZ reviews on my channel with you is like with Jazz from Same Difference.
Yeah.
Before it was Superjaz.
What's the name? Yeah. Well, I mean, I probably have said it on this channel before, but no, because Same Difference originally started out as a YouTube thing.
Yeah. That's why I put from Same Difference.
Well, no, and then we were like, hey, I was like, hey, you always wanted to sing. I wanted to rap. Why don't? Because we were trying to find varieties of shit to do. I was like, why don't we just maybe do a song or something? And we did that and never looked back. Yeah. And there you go. Now I got an album in the can and I'm fucking planning on the next one after I do the show that I'm putting on. So, word. Nah, man. Life comes at you fast. Shout out to State Farm.
Yeah.
But yo,
And that one guy that that Troy Barton, the other guy.
I don't know what that means.
All right, so you know what Gundam Wing is?
I know what Gundam
There
Wing
was a
is, yes.
character in Gundam Wing by the name of Troy Barton. And semi spoilers, although it's never stated in the series itself, it's kind of stated in one of the movies about it. Uh, that ain't his birth name. Essentially, he was working at the same place they were making the Gundam that he would eventually be piloting, and some guy, the actual Troy Barton, was being an asshole, and he was like being an asshole to some chick, and the kid gets up, shoots him, saving the woman's life, killing him. They're like, "Oh, thank you. Who are you? What is the name of our savior?" "Me? I have no name." "What was his name?" "Troy Barton." "That's my name now." And I'm also going to pilot this I'm also going to pilot this Gundam. So he literally killed the guy, took his name and job. Just some of the coldest shit ever. He just like, "What's your name?" "I don't know. What was his name?" "Troy Barton." "That's my name now." Wait,
That
what?
sounds like you seen the episode in The Simpsons where you find out that Principal Seymour Skinner's real name was actually not Seymour Skinner. It's like a
No.
notorious episode. You ever seen it? It was like one of the older episodes, but his real name was Armin Tamzarian. And if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong on this, but it was something like the actual Seymour Skinner got killed in like the war, like Nam or some shit.
Oh, and he was pretending for the dude's mom that he was her son.
Yeah, he just went home and she was like, Skinner, because you know his mom's just old and they playing up the whole being old senile shit. Skinner is like, yeah, mother, and just went with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like, oh, fuck.
I do remember that now.
That's like a notorious episode that on like diehard Simpson fans is apparently a little divisive. Some people like don't mind it. Some people really hate it. So anyway, hopefully you won't hate following us on our respective social medias, and not just hate, but actually go ahead and follow us on our respective social medias. So if you would like to, as I alluded to earlier in the show somewhat, I am an MC. I do get my rap on from time to time. So anywhere you stream your music, you can go ahead and look me up under the name Superjaz, which is spelled Superjaz. You can go ahead and look me up. Look for my debut solo album that I dropped. Shit, I almost can't say last year anymore. It's like probably 1 or 2 more weeks before when I can say last year. But I dropped last year, My Secret Identity. You may have to put in Superjaz, My Secret Identity. I'm not so famous yet. Also, go ahead and look me up on Twitter under the name Superjaz2. So that's Superjaz number 2. And of course, go ahead and find and follow me on Instagram under the handle Forever Superjaz, the word forever spelled correctly. Where can they find you, man?
Well, you can find me here every week, every Wednesday on the Whatever We Want podcast. You can also find me elsewhere on YouTube under feogrande. That is Feo Grande. And have a show on there that I mentioned a few times on here called This Guy Hasn't Seen, that I do with my good friend Bill Smith. This week, we're in the Christmas season, if you couldn't tell by some of the topics we brought up. So we did Jack Frost with Michael Keaton. Next week, we're doing Almost Christmas, by David E. Talbert. And then I also have some videos with Superjaz over here where we talk about Dragon Ball and stuff, like I mentioned, also dropped on there. I also am on Twitter and Twitch at Giotavi. That is Giotavi. Come on in, stop on by. Yeah. So that's me. That's what I got going on.
Word. And First Sunday Wrestling, because we talked about wrestling and we went ahead and made a whole podcast where we just say fuck it, no time limit, and every first Sunday of the month talk about wrestling. Obviously we didn't do it for this month, but it will be back to kick off the first Sunday bright and early for the next year.
So on New Year's Day?
Is it gonna be New Year's Day?
That's the first Sunday of next year.
Shit. We'll talk. Me and you will talk. We'll see. Because maybe we'll see. But either way, wrestling heads tune in for First Sunday, whether it be actual New Year's Day or not. We have a wrestling podcast. But all that being said, whether it be about wrestling, whether it be about fucking Omega X-Men, whether it be about fucking athletes ready to eat motherfuckers. What the fuck are we going to talk about next time? I should know this by now. I'm sorry.
Well, apparently I need to tell you more about Omega Class X-Men. But I may not, because we're going to talk about whatever we want.
Be nice to yourself, everybody. Please.
Adiousness.